Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. As you can see by the title of today's episode, we're talking about what makes a great CRA monitoring room. So for those of you that know, CRAs go on site, they travel on site. Well, I should say we travel on site and we go in these rooms and review patient files as well as site files and documentation. So a lot of this is electronic. A lot of this is also in paper format. So we have binders and binders of paper, and then a lot of sites do have things electronically, such as patient records and other documentation that they hold electronically. So the industry is moving more towards electronic holding of these items, but I don't see it being 100% electronic or even 90% electronic for many, many years. I can only think of one site that I've been to that even has a significant portion of their regulatory documents like medical licenses, CVs, things like that in electronic files. Still, I would say 99 to almost 100% of the sites that I've interacted with do have some form of paper, and if not some, most of their documentation is paper. So why am I bringing this up? So this all goes into what kind of space a CRA is going to need for the monitoring room and what type of things a CRA may need for a monitoring room. So when it comes to what makes a great CRA monitoring room, we're going to talk about a few things. One is space. The most important thing I would think is space. So we're talking table space. We're talking space to spread out. So CRAs have all these documents to look at. So it's helpful if they have a nice large table where they can spread out and review all the documents. So that's number one, having the space. Whether it's, closed off to where only the CRA is in there, or whether they have, a whole room with a bunch of CRA stations or cubicles, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as the CRA has requisite space, tables where they can spread out and review the documents is what matters. Of course, if it's private, so a CRA can take meetings in there and not worry about other people hearing, all the better. But most importantly, we need space and table space. Another thing I recently heard and is great is obviously outlets. CRAs have a lot of devices that we need to charge. One, our cell phone. Two, our computer that we bring with us. Three, maybe we have an external battery or something that we keep charged on us too. Of course, we travel with other electronic devices. Some people may have iPods, iPads. Some people may have headphones. I know I carry headphones. So we need charging outlets to be able to charge our devices and keep them charged. So first was space, table space. Second was charging outlets. Of course, this is very important. Some people like, access to water in their CRA monitoring room or snacks. That's also great. I would say water is more important because the CRA will bring their own snacks. They will bring their own food. They can expense all of this stuff to the company, so that's not as important to make sure that they have water and food. Typically CRAs, if they've been to the site before, they know what to expect. So not really as important, but it's something to consider if you want to make, your room the Ritz-Carlton of CRA rooms. So definitely that'd be great. But something that's even more important than food and water, believe it or not, would be access to a copy machine. So if a CRA can have their own copy machine in the room, that would be amazing, or access to printing. So if they have access to be able to print, that would really, really set yourself up as a site, because most sites, 90% of sites, they do not have access for the CRA to be able to print. Most of the times, I have to email what I want to print to the coordinator or somebody else, and they have to print it. But there's been one time where I did have the ability that I can print. So what they did was they set up their email on the computer that's connected to the printer, and I would just email my documents to that email address and then just hit print. So that's one way to do it. Or you can do it where maybe there's a USB that just plugs right into the printer that you guys have set up for the CRA, so they can just go over there and print whatever they need. But that's a big one. If most sites have the ability for the CRA to make copies on their own, but if they can print on their own, that's a key distinguishing factor. That'll really set your site apart and make your CRA room one of the best rooms out there, is if they can both print and copy inside that room, or nearby for that matter. So the location of the CRA room matters. If it's near the copier, if it's near the printer, or if you have it inside that room. Most places, I would say most places do have a dedicated CRA room or dedicated CRA area. It's better if there's an actual room, but I have seen it where it's like a desk or something that the CRA has access to, that, off to the side. That works also. We CRAs work in all types of conditions, especially me. I go to New York City a lot, so space is at a premium there. And I've worked, sitting on a stool and a makeshift desk there, to other places. They give you your own room with plenty of table space. I'd say over 8-9 feet of table space. So I've had everything in between. And of course, us CRAs are trained to work in all of these types of conditions. But this episode is really for how you can make your CRA room the best. So I'm just saying all the things I like at all the different sites that I've been to. Number 1 was table space. Number 2 was, I forgot what I even said, but I know number 2, food and water, if you guys have that. 3, most importantly, access to a copier or printer, for that matter, access to a copier or printer. Having access to a computer for the CRA can or cannot make a difference depending on if they are needing to view electronic medical health record. Some sites do provide a computer that's connected to whatever system, Epic or whatever EMR system they have available. And so, of course, if that's the case at your site, you'll need to provide one of those too. And it's best if that's in the CRA room. But however, most sites nowadays can provide some kind of remote access so the CRA can access it on their own computer. So that's great. Some CRAs do like when a site does provide an extra monitor that they can use to work off of. I've never had that provided to me, nor do I require it really. Of course, it's nice if it's provided, but the main things are space. That's the number 1 thing, and the second most important thing is access to a printer or a copier. And then I also mentioned outlets. You definitely do need a few outlets, but that can be easily adjusted by having an extension cord or one of those bricks. I think they're called, or whatever it is, those out where you can provide more outlets. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's what makes a great CRA monitoring room. Of course, if the temperature is, reasonable in there, hopefully it's not too cold, not too hot. That's what matters. And that's pretty much it. Nothing else, guys. CRAs just need the basic essentials, with space being the most important. Space is 80 to 90% of it, guys. If you have space and a couple outlets, that's pretty much all you need. Table space and a couple outlets. That'll make most of your CRAs very, very happy. So hope this was helpful. You have any questions or concerns about how you can best outfit your CRA monitoring room? I'm here to help. Email me eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. Take care.